What is up, NASCAR 15 fans? David Land here, and we are ready for Talladega. This is always a crazy race. Daytona was crazy, plate racing is crazy in NASCAR 15, and I'm ready for it. Hopefully, I can take my second victory of the season, but after two lousy short track finishes, we're 19th in the points, but again, with a win, it should not matter come chase time. But as you can see, the top of the heap in the point standings is Denny Hamlin. He's the guy to beat. He's about 100 points up on us, so we've got to play a bit of catch up. So let's head to Talladega and take a look at the starting grid. Okay, so Kevin Harvick paced qualifying in position 1. We made it to Group 2 of qualifying, but we only managed to nab 16th position after having a spin with Casey Kane as we were tandem drafting, trying to get a fast qualifying time. That did not happen, so down through the rest of the field, take a look at the drivers who are participating in today's race and see where your favorite is starting. Kyle Busch is going to start shotgun on the field coming from last. I expect he will be up there. It's going to be 3 and 4 wide racing. Harvick will lead us down, and Mike Joy and Darrell Waltrip will get us started.
Welcome to the world's fastest super speedway, Talladega, Alabama, and Fox Sports coverage of the Aaron's 499.
You know, Mike, everybody complains about restrictor plates on these cars at Daytona and Talladega. The cars may be restricted, but the racing isn't, Mike. It's going to be wild and crazy today. You better hang on to your helmet.
Darrell, will we see pack racing or the two-car tandem?
I think you'll see a combination of both, but I think the guys that can break out at the end, a two-car tandem, that's what will win this race.
Talladega has a great history of thrilling action, and for some reason it tends to favor first-time winners. Wonder if we'll get one of those this afternoon.
Okay, so we are ready to go here at Talladega, NASCAR's biggest track, and this should be a wild one. You can see the rest of the 43 car field behind me, and we're coming up to the green flag. Shouldn't have to worry about wheel spin on a plate track, and we are racing.
Let's go racing, boys and girls.
And Darrell Waltrip is naturally very excited about that. We are underway 2 by 2, staying fairly good in line here. I would expect that the rows of 3 are going to form up here very shortly, as it usually does. You can see Yaley in the old sucker hole there. And I'm going to try to be a bit conservative here on the start of the race. Oops.
There you go.
I always say that and then I almost crash, but if I can be conservative, the pack will eventually spread out a bit,
Closing on the bottom.
assuming we don't have very many yellows,
Far inside, trying to get to your corner.
and then we'll race. But right now we kind of need a drafting partner. We
Inside, just looking.
only have one from behind, and it seems like the bottom lane is really
On the
working
bottom, 2 back.
right now.
Looking really good.
And they
right
move
here.
up with Truex. I think we kind of got really hurt by Yaley slowing us down there.
Go high.
So we're still on the outside, and we're 3 wide on the outside. I'm doing a better job at spotting than the spotter is right now. All the way back to 27, so we really need to get on the bottom here, because they're 4 wide behind me. Wise all the way up on the outside in the Dogecoin car.
Far in line with you.
There, we can finally get to the bottom.
Far right behind you.
So now we can start doing some drafting here and try to do the tandem drafting
Still with you.
that Darrell and Mike were talking about in the intro,
There's your next victim right there.
because that does work in this game for some reason. Field is actually really spread out. I'm kind of surprised to see that, but it is.
Clear right.
We're up to 200 miles an hour. We were nowhere near this in qualifying.
We can do this.
I was kind of struggled to get past 200, but now we're at 204.
Right there, nice and smooth.
Big draft onto Gilliland. 203 miles an hour. Shoot, we might average this around the track here. I'm kind of surprised at the speed, actually. Well over 200 miles an hour the entire time. Can't remember that the last time I came to a plate race. Remember the top speeds being a little bit lower than this, but I don't know. That's weird. I guess I've been playing too much NASCAR Heat, where generally you're stuck at
Driver in first, 2 seconds
188 rather than 200, what it really should be,
ahead. High.
realistically. Yeah, we've stayed clean, which is the strategy I wanted to kind of keep for this race. Run it and see where we end up here at the end. And there's a little bit of a slowdown there, mid-pack, as the cars kind of come together here. McFlurry's going to give us a shot down into turn 1. And we're going to get behind Regan Smith there as well. And we got 2 lanes of 2 here the whole way through the field. It's a 200-mile-an-hour pace lap, to use the classic line there. 204 down the back straightaway. We're going to get in line here and shove Regan Smith all the way into turn 3. Got to be very careful though not to shove him too hard. Big time pack forming now, and a pack that's very, very fast right now. This is a bit wild, I will say that. It's kind of one of those. I mean, this really feels like a plate race. I'm kind of surprised how good this is right now, in that we can't really move, but we can make some passes. We're 3x3x3 up front, and now we get moved to the center of the center of the group here.
Nice pass, man. Keep working.
Did not really want to be in the middle, but we've been put there by Jamie McFlurry. He's going to move down to the bottom. We're going to follow him down there. And now they're still 3 wide. Yaley just about wrecked off of the front of us. That was a very late move down to the inside by J.J. Yaley. And we're not going to make that 4 wide. Yaley can try to do that, go for it, but I am not interested in 4 wide right now. 3 wide on the bottom is as crazy as I'm willing to get right now. And I'm even just feathering the throttle off into turn 1. I'm trying to keep it low. Well, I really had to cut in front of Chase Elliott there to make sure that he didn't sneak in there and turn me. We got to be so careful here, and Elliott's going to move down to the inside, and that is going to be 4 wide. Thankfully, the pole sitter Kevin Harvick's kind of snuck up in there, and he's going to prevent that from happening, at least for now. Uh-oh. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. I cannot believe I saved that. I cannot believe I saved that. It was almost inevitable that that was going to happen, but the fact that I didn't crash is unreal. Unreal. And now we're going to get a huge draft off of Cole Witt, and I'm not going to lift. I'm going to try to drive it into the corner here, stay underneath Cole Witt. Thankfully, his spotter seemingly told him I was there because he didn't chop down on me. Unlike Yaley, who's driving a bit erratically, if I may say so. This early in the race, you can see he's up there in the lead group with Kyle Larson and a few others. Allgaier's actually leading the race, and the bottom lane is moving big time. Whoa! Big move down there to the inside by Cole Witt. He's good on these plate tracks, I will say that. He's beaten me before, actually, in another video. Very popular video, actually. I think I titled Best Finish Ever or something like that. It was Cole Witt who beat me to the line. Here comes Jeff Gordon. He is the leader now. Thankfully, I didn't get a penalty for touching the yellow line that time. And we're going to come up here, and I guess we'll use Chase Elliott to push us to the front. We'll lead this thing for a little while. Get the clean air. Get the car breathing. They are 3x3x3 all the way behind. We'll keep Elliott behind us because he seems like he's got a pretty fast car right now. As best I can, but we've got a couple of cars. Wow, I think they're 4 wide behind again. It's hard to tell just looking in the mirror and kind of judging off where the cars are. I suppose I could look, but I dare not. And I'll keep Dylan behind. There's a lot of cars back there, as you may have saw. I flicked to the back. Yeah, there you go. The Angry Horde. And we've got 30 laps to go. And if we can keep this thing green, it's going to be very interesting to see how the pit strategy plays out here. Who's going to have it right? Who's not going to have it right? Blocked Kurt Busch. Ooh, that was a little ambitious by me trying to block Austin Dillon down there to the inside. Brad Keselowski's under there in a beer wagon. Still trying to keep Dillon behind me. They're 4 wide again. I think Kurt Busch was 4 wide back there.
He's still on you.
This is a crazy race. All right, Dylan's going to go to the outside. I'm going to block Keselowski down to the inside. Hopefully he can push me because here comes Biffle to the outside. And Greg Biffle's going to try to make the move there. He's on the outside. Keselowski, can you push me through? Thank you, sir. The Miller High Life Bobby Allison tribute car helping me out quite a bit. Now I'm going to block both of these Fords with my Ford. They're Ford wide back there. I would not be surprised if Fox Sports starts selling the Ford wide moment of the race or something like that. I could see that happening. Here comes Kyle Larson. He's another car who seems to be very strong in this race. Got several cars that have lost the draft as well. My gosh. Oh, Brad Keselowski about turned me into Tony Stewart or somebody blowing over in the tri-oval. Thankfully, you can't blow over in this game. Otherwise, and there we go. I've lost the lead now. Now we're in trouble. Now we are in trouble. Thankfully, pit stops are going to start occurring, but it's not going to matter because Kyle Larson just completely wrecked me. So I'm just going to keep him behind me now. You're going to get punished for that, Larson. And pit stops are beginning. Pit stops are beginning. You just heard the spotter. Pit stops are starting. So we'll see how many cars peel off this time by. Looks like just a couple. And Yaley actually got held up in the traffic. So this will spread the pack out a bit. There's actually cars that lost the draft that are coming out of the pits now. We can make it, I think, another lap. So I'm going to keep it out, keep the car out for another lap. See if we can't capitalize on more cars coming into the pits. As long as we don't lose too many positions or too much track position doing this. Hopefully a few cars stay out with me on this lap in my group here, preferably. Or a few cars get held up as cars peel off into the pits. We're just going to have to wait and see how this works out. Probably won't even need to do tires. I might do two right sides on my last stop. And look at all those cars getting slowed down by the cars pitting. McDowell is a lapper. Oh, baby. Clint Boyer cut in front of me just a little bit there. Car's looking very gnarly right now. I gave the spot back. Spotter, stop yelling at me. Okay, down the back straightaway. We're going to come into the pits this time by. Joey Logano looking a little bit erratic there. Again, we're gonna do no tires on this stop, and we're gonna fill her full of fuel. That's gonna be the only change we make. And a yellow. A yellow. So what happened? Cars exiting the pits, and Brad Keselowski gets spun by AJ Allmendinger.
Make it count, boys. Be ready. Be ready.
All right, one of, I believe, 2 pit stops we will be mandatory we'll have to make just based on fuel economy. You can see the damage caused by the shunt with Kyle Larson, but we're going to get back out there and we're going to go for it here on this restart. All right, so we're going to restart 25th. It says we're 4th on the board there, but I'm not sure that's entirely correct. Here we go. Ready to head back to green flag racing. And we're back to racing. 25th position for the restart. Oh, we got shoved below the yellow line, so got to make sure we didn't pass anybody, and I don't believe we did. We lost positions, but we didn't gain any. So we're underneath Logano here, who we are now, I believe, on the same fuel strategy as. This will affect strategy a bit. I think a lot of cars did not pit under that yellow, and a few did, including the ones like me who did not pit under the green. Kind of surprised as many cars stayed on the lead lap as they did. But whatever, Justin Allgaier continues to lead, actually. He worked his way back up into the lead of the race. After I had gotten turned into the wall by Larson, I lost the lead. So, Allgaier's got a very strong car. He could be the guy to watch for the end of this race.
your rear.
as we are quickly approaching the halfway mark.
Nice drafting.
And we are in the draft, big time, 200 miles an hour once again, which seems to be the race pace of this race, is over 200 miles an hour.
Work your way around him.
And into turn number 1.
Watch your
Gotta
mirror.
be very careful there. Oh boy, do not
Outside.
penalize
Trying to
me
get
for
to your
that.
corner.
Thank you. Got a little bit squirrely on the inside behind Larson,
We got
who
this, buddy.
I've not been very friendly with. Give him a little bit of a reminder who I am and where I am behind him.
On your
And it
bumper.
looks like the middle lane's moving quite fast there. Trevor Bayne not really moving here on the bottom. That's going to allow Carl Edwards and a few others to take the bottom away from us. And now the top lane with the Bushes and Gordon not moving very fast either. Gordon's going to move down in front of me. I'll move down in front of J.J. Yaley.
Car in line with you. Clear on the outside.
And we're at 205. Whoops. And Gordon just decided to brake in the middle of the straightaway, which completely killed my momentum.
We'll get him next time, buddy.
And we're on the outside
That's
getting a
good. Tuck in right there.
big draft behind Trevor Bayne, which is shaking the controller, so it means it's good, but
Come on, you got it.
I don't know if I'm in the best position here.
Watch your rear.
Generally, the outside lane is not the place to be. I think I need to get back to the bottom, because we are kind of in no man's land here.
Stay high.
So I lift off the gas a little bit. Well, I guess we'll make the top lane work, at least for a while. I don't know who's leading that. It looks like Cole Witt, maybe. Allgaier's back to the lead, so he is very, very strong at this race. 4 wide for the lead at Talladega.
Find your next victim.
As you can see, Cole Witt really struggled there. Still 4 wide. As that's a net, I think. No, it's not. It's
Stay there.
Newman down to the inside, and you can just see this requires a ton of focus and concentration to just keep the car on the gray stuff and not in the white stuff. If that makes any sense, we've got 4 wide,
Your way around him.
5 wide now, literally 5 wide. Oh my gosh, that's 5 wide.
Outside.
That is not going to work. That is not going to work. That is not going to work.
Okay, let's go. We got
I
you.
saved it. Kurt Busch did not. Well, that started with 5 wide, and that was never going to work. You can see Busch loses it all the way up to the wall, and clearly, big hit for him, and that's a yellow.
Be safe and smart. Here we go.
All right, so we're in the pits. We did not avoid damage in that melee, so we're going to have to come in, get it repaired. I don't know why the team is doing tires. I just wanted a splash of fuel, but whatever. We're going to get back out there once again and hopefully compete for the win. All right, we're 36th. Coming back to the green. Kurt Busch has been eliminated from the race. So Kurt Busch out after that accident. And we are ready to go once again at Talladega. Green is out.
Come on, man.
We're
Keep that momentum. Keep
36th.
that momentum.
36th on this restart. So we need to get going here, not lose the draft, because we are
First is
back
leading by 3
in
seconds.
among some lap cars. We're pushing AJ Allmendinger, who was the cause of the first yellow flag, which kind of set up all of this mayhem that's happened recently.
Car tucked in behind you. Nobody's gonna pull over.
And I
You
get
need
into
force
4th
take.
gear.
Gotta go get it.
And it's a bit wild back here, as you can see.
Clear up top.
We're around Dale Jr. and a few other cars.
That's it, dude.
So
Every
we're just
position
going to
is
use the
4
draft as effectively as I can here on the restart, as there are some cars that are struggling to get back up to
points.
speed,
It's all clear, bud.
and we cannot lose that lead group. As long as we stay in the draft here, and I'm starting to lose it, so I need to get down here with Kevin Harvick. I think is going to be my best shot at maintaining the draft. So the cars seem to be spreading out just a little bit. Gilliland gets put in the wall by Kevin Harvick. That is a bit of a weird situation to see.
Right's clear.
That was very weird, but it's going to allow me to get a run on Harvick and hopefully be able to catch back up to the field here, as it spreads out quite a bit, actually, kind of surprisingly so. And the pack behind me is starting to catch as well. So we're coming up here to Kevin Harvick, and Kevin Harvick's going around Cole Witt by himself. He's the pole sitter, remember, one of the fastest cars here.
Nice and easy. Just keep doing
And I
what you've been
just
doing.
had to cut in front of Cole Witt like that. Otherwise, we were going to get overwhelmed here by the cars coming behind, and I just put Kevin Harvick in the wall. Well, we're not working with him very well. We're not working with Danica Patrick very well. We are just completely alienating the entire Stewart-Haas Racing crew right now.
He's coming on the outside.
And now we are in a big cluster of a pack right now. Gonna give a big shot to the 95 car of McDowell. That didn't work out too well either. So now in the second group here, this is not really where I wanted to be. Oh boy.
Come on, buddy. You're going to have to be nice and easy on this bump draft here.
And I better bring out the yellow because otherwise we're going to be in trouble. Yeah, that was straight itchy arm. You can see the car up on the wall there. Turned Menard into the wall, didn't get the yellow, so come back across the track and take Junior with us and a few others. Unfortunate, but that's how you have to play the game sometimes.
Here, in and out. Let's go.
Okay, I figure if I pit now, I might be able to actually make it to the end on fuel, so that's what we're doing.
Great pit stop.
Alright, ready to get back to green for one last time. Hopefully here, we can get green to the finish. I think we're in 38th for this restart on the outside. Not a good place to be. But if we fuel mileage correctly, we may be able to end up in victory circle, as the rest of the field may have to come in. Green is out. We are racing again as we go around the outside of the points leader. Denny Hamlin. And now Kevin Harvick to the inside, getting his draft. We'll see if the pack forms up a little bit better than it did the last time. It seems like it's a little spread out still as well. As long as we keep with some guys who are going to the front, we'll be fine. Plate racing is a weird beast. And we're trying to just get that draft here into turn number 3. Which we do. Get in mind Harvick here. 3 wide up in front, which seems tame by the 5 wide racing we saw earlier. So we'll run behind Regan Smith here for a little while. See where this takes us.
You're good low.
Elliott's just gotten on the lead lap, actually. Elliott was a lap down for a while there during the race. And now he's back on the lead lap. Few cars actually were laps down after the pit sequence, kind of the guys who pitted early. But I think all 42 cars remaining in the race are on the lead lap.
We're on the high side.
So, theoretically, 42 cars could win this race. Though that may seem to be a bit unlikely. So we're struggling a bit to stay up with the pack, and in fact we're losing the draft now. That's not good. Okay, I'm going to try to back up to a drafting partner here. Hopefully one of these guys will pass me, get to single here. They're all going to pass me on the outside. Okay, I need to stay up with at least one of these people. There we go. Okay, now who do I go with? I think we'll go with Hamlin. Despite the fact that this is going to hurt me probably points-wise to do this. Oh, no, we won't. We'll just get... Okay, now we're running in a bit of a draft here, so that's good. Now, if I can just get to the back bumper, do we want to go with McFlurry? Well, I was going to try to bump draft him there. In fact, we're going to back off just a little bit. Oh, no, I guess Hamlin's going to go with us. Okay. Just as long as somebody works with me, I'm fine with it. I don't care who it is. Bump draft Danica just a little bit. Wasn't a very good bump draft. Now here comes Hamlin behind. We're coming up to Vickers. And Hamlin just giving me a little bit of a shove there through turn 3. We're coming up underneath Vickers.
On your bumper. Looking high. Got a car closing on your
And
outside.
here comes Danica. Already got cars peeling off into the pits. So things are getting started here. How's it all going to shake out here as we're coming up to 10 laps to go next time by? That's a long way at Talladega, though. A long way. Michael Annett leads the race, if you can believe it.
7 seconds ahead to the lead car.
He leads by 7 seconds over us right now. If I could just get one of these cars to break off so that I could push them. I'm a better pusher in this game than I am
Got a car behind.
a pushy.
Good work now, buddy. Come on.
At least when we're running in slightly smaller packs.
Closing up top.
Good grief. That was a close one.
Clear high.
And they are 4 wide behind now. That's not helping matters. More cars peeling off into the pits.
Keep rolling.
And I should have let McMurray under me that time
Time to
by.
go.
Now we're at 10 laps to go here at Talladega.
Car one back.
If I can keep talking about like Ken Squire for this long. Let's see if we can get McMurray going underneath me.
Almost gained 3/4 of a second on the guy ahead.
And can we get behind him? Yes, we can.
First is in front
All right,
by 8
so
seconds.
now we can go to work here. Gotta just lift off ever so slightly into the corner, just not completely wrecking through the corners. Once we come about to here, we can get on his bumper, start pushing best we can. More cars coming into the pits. Coming up behind Kevin Harvick, we've got the fastest car in the race so far, which is Jamie
Time
McMurray.
to go.
And we're about to pass the car that was on the pole here. Kevin Harvick.
Coming to the
Why
left
did he
side.
do that? What?
Just wasted your day out there. But don't let it get you down, man. We just need to work on finishing races and picking up some
I
more points.
cannot believe that one. Friggin' Kevin Harvick, folks. He absolutely cut down on me and took me out. 9 laps behind because obviously I got taken out, literally taken out. Clint Boyer won the race. And that, folks, is my first DNF in a NASCAR game. And the reason I decided to DNF it was because we had run so many laps. We had come down to the end of the race, and honestly, sometimes you do get knocked out of the races. It would have been nice to see how it ended, but that's racing sometimes. Unfortunate to see, but we'll move on to Kansas and hopefully have some revenge on Kevin Harvick.